Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the January 25th edition of Webb Weekly Live. Good morning, Steph.
Good morning. How are you?
Wonderful. How about yourself?
Oh, not too bad. Looking forward to getting out of January.
We almost got it in the books.
Yeah, it's been a rough January and not my favorite month, so I'm looking forward to moving on to February and getting a little closer to spring.
I think January is everybody's least favorite month from talking.
Yeah, it's rough, and this one's been particularly depressing, so yeah, looking forward to moving on.
Sorry to hear that. So what do we got this week in the Webb Weekly?
Well, the big story is Lou's got the history, and the upcoming events is the SPCA celebrates their 125th anniversary, and I just wanted to take a second we've got a couple of their animals on the cover this week, but two of the two dogs on the cover this week are, I really want to take a second to talk about Sabbath and Raymond, because they've been at the SPCA for a very long time. Sabbath was initially brought into the SPCA in 2013, and he did get a home for a while and it didn't work out, so he's back and he's been at the SPCA since 2015. And Raymond has been there since 2014. He's coming up on his 3-year anniversary at the SPCA. So if you're looking for a home and maybe you are, it's an adult household and you only want the one pet, these are both dogs that need to be the only animal in the home, and you think you're ready to open up your home, please go take a look at these two dogs. I was up at the SPCA last week to take the pictures of them. They're very sweet. Raymond's very playful. He's going to need someone who can be active with him, but if you're looking to add a pet to your home, please consider one of these two dogs. We also have a couple of other animals on the cover. Pandora, who spent some time at the SPCA and then was another one who got a home and came back, and then Gonzalez is an adorable little rabbit if you want a smaller pet to take home with you. So please go check them out.
How do you think Gonzalez and Raymond would do together?
Probably, I think Gonzalez might end up being a snack for Raymond.
I'm just joking around, but the SPCA, they do such great work up there. 125th anniversary, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And near and dear to my heart. You and I and Juliana, our web kid correspondent, we spend a lot of time up there, and I always want to take the whole place home with me.
Absolutely.
When I go in, and again, and if you can't take those dogs, if you're looking for a pet or an animal, adopt one and start with the SPCA or any organization, and give an animal a chance and to be loved and have a home.
Absolutely. So. And then we also have the Uptown Music Collective is doing a one-night only performance on Saturday night at the Community Arts Center. It's a tribute to Michael Jackson. I'm sure that's going to be a great show. The Uptown Music Collective always does a fantastic job, so be sure to go out and check that out. Tickets are, I believe, $15 in advance, $20 at the door. And
a great way to get out and about this time of year, and you're right about Uptown. Their shows are fabulous. Yeah. I mean, great. So.
And then Scott Lowry has an entertaining story about being a fan, and being a fan when your teams are playing less than stellar ball. So he's got, and in Scott's case, it's Penn State, and then Alabama Crimson Tide, and then his poor Cowboys.
Yeah.
So it's a great story, and especially coming off this weekend, I'm sure that there's some less than thrilled fans in the Pennsylvania area.
My Steelers were obviously sent packing for the season, and it wasn't very fun to watch that game.
I'm sure.
But the Steelers do so well year in and year out, and the one nice thing is you're always usually watching them play in the playoffs, and I'm grateful for that. But you always want to see your team in a Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely. And so he's got it. Like I said, it's a cute story about what it's like to be a fan when it's hard. and so, but yeah, that's what we got going on this week.
And I guess we do have a lot of New England Patriot fans in the area, right?
That's what I hear. It seems.
So.
No, but yeah, that's pretty much what we got going on. So be sure to check that out.
Nice. And what are you doing today? What are we giving away?
We are giving away a $25 gift card to Hannah. We have Barry Soanes coming in with us in just a few minutes, and he's got a wild game dinner coming up that benefits the Pennsylvania Wounded Warriors. So I have a Wounded Warriors related trivia question this week.
Excellent.
So very simple, $25 gift card to Hannah if you can tell me who founded the Wounded Warriors, the national organization. So who founded the Wounded Warriors? Answer below. $25 gift card to Hannah. Remember, if you or someone in your home has won with us in the last 30 days, let someone else take the question.
Nice, and I do not know that one. So, but Barry Soanes is going to come in and he'll be an interesting guest. He's involved in a lot of different things. He has Nightingale Hunting Preserve, which is pheasants and chuckers and hunting, but he puts a lot of time and effort into the Wounded Warrior program and into traveling and hunting and doing great things for folks. So it'll be interesting to hear what he has to say, and the game dinner, I always like things like that. So
absolutely, and like I said, it goes to a great cause, and Barry does a lot of work for the PA Wounded Warriors, and he's going to come in and talk about all of that.
Wonderful. So we'll take a commercial break, and I'll be right back with Barry.
Credit problems, bankruptcy, low credit score? At Fairfield Auto Group, we have car financing solutions. Introducing Fairfield Fresh Start Financing. We'll get you financed with 99% credit approval today. Get back on your feet with the vehicle you deserve. And don't forget about the Fairfield Advantage. Available on all pre-owned vehicles. Better quality, better selection, better price, better value. Visit FairfieldFreshStart.com for more info. As always, it's Fairfield for fair deals. You're gonna love us.
And Steph and I are back with Barry Soanes, and welcome, Barry.
Thank you.
Good to have you on today, and obviously today the main focus you want to talk about is the Pennsylvania Wounded Warrior, but I've known you for a while now, and we got to do a little background. You're a very interesting guy and do a lot of things I wished I could be with you to do. And you've had your family,
Yes.
Nightingale Shooting Preserve for 50 years,
Yes.
roughly. You've been running it for the last
15 years.
15 years or so. Great place to go down. Pheasants, chuckers, dog
What
or
is a
no
chucker?
dog. I'll let you take that one.
I've heard you mention this a few times because you spend quite a bit of time out there. What is a chucker?
It's a game bird from the high altitude bird from the East Indies. It's about the size of our grouse.
Okay.
It's a fast-moving, quicker bird than a pheasant.
And this time of the year, the big draw to chuckers are that they'll set and hold. The pheasants are running. They really like to run this time of the year. They don't like to hold good.
Learn something new every day.
That's a chucker. And we do. My sons and I and friends, we enjoy coming down to your place and getting after the birds. But all the things you do, and let's talk about Nightingale. 50 years in the family, and you're keeping the tradition going.
Yes.
How many birds do you raise a year?
I'm raised on the range of 2,000 chuckers, 2,000 pheasant, and about 800 quail.
Oh, I forgot about the quail. Yeah. And public hunting, anybody can come down, give you a call.
Yes.
You can do programs, packages, order birds ahead.
Yes. Yeah.
And a great place, and you and the folks do a great job down there.
Oh, thank you. And it basically, I have the preserve set up. I consider myself a low budget hunter, and the preserve is set up so the average person can afford to come and bring his kids and grandkids and hunt. There's not a lot of fancy things there or whatever, but we have excellent hunting and excellent birds, but so people can afford to do it.
And you see a lot of smiles, a lot of laughs, and a lot of families down
Yes.
there in and out. So a great place. Now, we could go on hours about you, but you take that business, and then your focus is the Pennsylvania Wounded Warrior program. But also you've been in the Webb Weekly. Steph's had you in on your articles and riding your bike. Steph, why don't you take a...
Yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about the bicycling and how that plays into your support of the Wounded Warriors?
It's basically to draw focus to what, not so much me, but what other people do to raise money. I'm willing to, don't get me wrong, I'm doing this for myself too. I want to keep in as good a physical condition as I possibly can. So that's just another way to do that.
And how many miles have you rode in the last year or so?
In the last year, probably over 4,000.
And you had the great hunt up into Alaska.
Yes, I drove to Anchorage, Alaska. Another friend, Larry Swartz, flew up and met me at Anchorage. We flew to Adak to hunt caribou, but it turned into bad weather and everything, so we wasn't there that long.
You have snow tires for the bike when you get bad weather?
No, but So we come back and flew back to Anchorage. We drove clear up into the top of Alaska. I shot a caribou there. Then I left. Larry drove my truck back home, and I left from North Pole, Alaska, and rode to Custard, South Dakota.
Oh my gosh. North Pole, Alaska. Now, how many miles is that?
It's over 2,800 miles. Just
Wow.
under, in that whole trip, I rode over 3,000 miles.
Now, how many trips have you done over the years?
Quite a few.
And
3 years ago, I rode across the country from coast to coast, and 2 years ago, I shot competitive archery, and I rode to each one of the major shoots that I done that year.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
And always you travel and you ride, and obviously you're hunting and having a good time, but you always try to make a focus for the Pennsylvania Wounded Warriors when
Yes.
you're doing it.
Yes.
And I know it's near and dear to your heart. So now today, you said, hey, let's talk about the game dinner, right?
Yes. Yeah. We have every year this is the 5th year now we've had a wild game dinner. And it's not just me. I have amazing friends and amazing family that everybody comes together, and it's turned into a really neat event, you know. This year it's February 18th at Usville Fire Hall. The doors open at 4:30, and the meal will be served at 5 o'clock. Then there's an auction, and
A lot of events going on
Yes.
to help
Yes.
to increase the amount, obviously, for the Pennsylvania Wounded Warriors.
yes.
And it's all local people participating.
Yes, yes.
And,
a lot of local major donations. Marty's Bike Shop at Muncie donates a very good mountain bike. The company that I actually shoot for, Hoyt, is donating a brand new Power Max bow.
Nice.
And a
So
lot
great
of
prizes, great sense.
Yes.
So we're going to take a little commercial break for our friends at Fairfield, and the deal's going on down there. We'll come back, talk a little more about it.
Credit problems, bankruptcy, low credit score? At Fairfield Auto Group, we have car financing solutions. Introducing Fairfield Fresh Start Financing. We'll get you financed with 99% credit approval today. Get back on your feet with the vehicle you deserve. And don't forget about the Fairfield Advantage. Available on all pre-owned vehicles. Better quality, better selection, better price, better value. Visit FairfieldFreshStart.com for more info. As always, it's Fairfield for fair deals. You're gonna love us.
And we're back, and in all this, the big thing has to be the focus on the PA Wounded Warriors, which is it's an amazing organization. So why don't you tell us a little bit specifically about the Pennsylvania Wounded Warriors?
Pennsylvania Wounded Warriors is 100% volunteer organization. 95 cents out of every dollar goes to a Wounded Warriors. There is no salaries. It takes basically 5 cents out of that dollar to run the paperwork, to run the organization.
And that's the Pennsylvania
Yes,
Wounded Warrior program,
Pennsylvania
as
Wounded
opposed to
Warrior.
the National Wounded Warrior that you might be advertised on TV or
Yes,
so forth.
yes.
Yeah, that's really great. And, it's nice to know that, that money's staying here in Pennsylvania. This is money that's helping your friends and your family and your neighbors who have given to this country. So that's really amazing, and it's nice to see that there are people out there doing everything they can to help support our veterans.
Yes, it is. And there's a lot of, like I say, there's a lot of local organizations that's donating to make this wild game meal what it has been.
And how do we go about getting tickets to?
There's no tickets. You call my cell number to make reservations, and then it's basically a donation as you come in the door. We just need the number so we know the amount of people we're going to have.
Very nice. And I know the dinner went well last year. Fill us in a little bit how it went last year.
We had just a little over 300 people. We can go up to right around 400. We'll at the Hughesville Fire Hall.
At the Hughesville. So let's try to fill it this year. We got room for some more. And,
very good, yes.
And everybody I talked to had a great time, great food, great prizes. Any other things you want to talk about as far as prizes, giveaways, or?
Just there's so many different things that people donate and everything. It's become a little unusual, whatever, but there's some amazing cooks that do some really neat cakes and pies, and a couple of them has really went out of focus. Maybe not really, but it's for a wonderful cause. We've had cakes and pies that's brought over $100 a piece.
Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Is there gold in them there pies?
Well, no, but they're pretty good.
Nice. And while we're on that, obviously the food, you were going over the holiday season, maybe a little after, you were heading to Florida.
Yes. This year for food we're having caribou hot sausage. And the hot sausage is made by at Country Store. They donate that. The hot sausage takes so much pork to make that and everything, so we have myself and some friends and nephew went to Florida hunting wild hogs, and we brought a couple wild hogs back, so all the pork that's in the hot sausage will be a wild hog.
And I thought that was a great story that you guys were going down there to do that together, and,
Yes.
and then it was being turned into to food for the game dinner.
Yeah.
And there'll be all kinds of wild dishes and wild game.
We have, like I say, the hot sausage. We'll have the mule deer will be made into bologna. Antelope, we're having barbecue. And there'll be wild hog cooked and venison cooked.
What's the most unusual thing that over the years that somebody's brought or that you had?
We had the other year we had muskox, and people really enjoyed that, and black-tailed deer.
Nice. Nice. So back to the Pennsylvania Wounded Warrior Program and great work being done. And you know, you and I have talked before, we can't do enough for our veterans and for our current military personnel. And sometimes they sort of get forgotten about, unfortunately, in our great country. But what and I know the story, but give us a recap of why you felt so strongly in getting involved in this.
8 years ago, I was in a major accident. I was in a bad accident, and I've been able to come back and
let me add in there, they didn't think Barry was going to come back, period. And he was made able to rehabilitate himself and come back. And I'll let you take the rest of the story.
It's my way to pay back. And this isn't a good reason or a good thing, but we should be doing what we're doing for the Pennsylvania Wounded Warriors, but not for them to save their house because of medical bills. We should be doing it so they can go out and have fun and have money to go out and take your families on vacations and stuff like that. But that's not happening.
Isn't happening.
This money is being used to pay medical bills so they don't lose their houses.
Absolutely, and I agree with you. They give so much, and they live with it every day, and in whatever we can do to help them. And most importantly, on your end, I admire and tip my hat and thank you for taking and showing that, hey, you couldn't have had a worse negative thing happen to you, and you've tried to take that negative and turn it into a positive, not for yourself, but as much for other folks that need a helping hand. Thank you.
Thank you.
Steph, what do you have?
Yeah, no, I think you guys are absolutely right. We shouldn't ever be living in a world where our veterans are struggling to to pay their medical bills or to pay their mortgage payments. And it's a shame that we are, but it is, yes, it's like you guys said, it's amazing the work that you're doing and the work that the PA Wounded Warriors are doing to help get these soldiers back up and functioning and able to take care of themselves and their homes and their families.
And it's all about, folks, events like the game dinner and just the little things you can do to put a few bucks out there and maybe enjoy a day with your son or daughter or family, and to help those that put it on the line for our great nation. And anything you want to add to that?
You basically covered it. Thank you.
Well, I thank you for coming in and all you do out there.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
Thank you.
I look forward to when the weather is a little nice, we get some birds back out there too. So
Sooner or later it'll dry up a little bit.
well, hey, we're going to take a commercial break, and we're going to be right back. We have an interesting segment with Juliana, our Web Kids girl, today, and about hoverboards and my interest in this new phenom of these hoverboards. Be right back.
Over 30 years, one family of dealerships has grown to include 14 brands at 8 locations on an unyielding commitment to hometown values and unrivaled service, selection, and customer satisfaction for 30 years. Fairfield. For fair deals. You're gonna love us.
And we're back, and I got Juliana, our Web Kids correspondent. How are you, Juliana?
Good. How are you, Mr. Webb?
I'm wonderful. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
You've been doing a great job with your interviews, and everywhere I go, people tell me how they love watching you. So you can be proud.
Thank you.
So anyway, everybody, hoverboards are the craze. And I knew you got a hoverboard for Christmas and that you're really good on it. So I thought we'd bring you in and talk to you about it a little bit. And if you're like me, you think of hoverboard, the first thing you think of are the Back to the Future movies, Michael J. Fox. And in the movie, the hoverboard was the skateboard of the future, and he rode it around. And of course, they were a little better in this, Juliana. They rode right on air. Does this ride right on air?
No, it has wheels.
It has wheels, so not air yet. So tell me, you got this for Christmas, and tell me about how you ride it and how you go around and what you do at home.
Well, basically, these are the feet pads, so you step on these, and these lights right here light up. And so if you want to go forward, you would lean forward with your feet. And if you want to go backwards, the same thing. And if you want to spin around really fast, you would lean on one foot pad more than the other to go that way.
Well, that's pretty cool. And I hear you go pretty fast on it. Mm-hmm. I heard you got a nice straight stretch in your house. You get it going pretty good?
Yeah.
So the question people have asked me about is, how safe are these?
Well, I know that they used to be really unsafe and they would start fires when they were charging.
I didn't know that.
But they came out with new versions, and the companies who did sell those that blew up, they are not allowed to sell their hoverboards anymore. But they're a lot safer now, and really the only damage it can do is if you fall off of it, and that's why you have to be really careful on them.
You don't ride them when they're on fire, do you?
No.
Anyway, so obviously you can fall off of them, and I'm going to ask the question every young parent probably, you don't wear it. I should ask it the other way. Do you wear a helmet when you ride these?
No.
You never see anybody wear a helmet. And pretty much if you're in an area where there's not something to fall into, that's probably the biggest danger, if you'd fall off and fall into the fireplace, or something like that.
Hit your head on something.
Hit your head on something. However, obviously with wheels, you probably need a nice, hard, flat surface to run them, huh?
Yeah, you probably can't ride them on like stones in like a driveway or something, because I know we can't ride them in our driveway. And we kind of can't ride bikes either in our driveway because the stones fly out from under us.
And you wouldn't want to ride it on carpet or anything like that. You want like a wood floor or a tile? Or will they go on carpet?
It goes on carpet pretty fast, actually. But this one is Bluetooth, so you can run music through it. You can change the lights on the back here.
Really?
So, yeah.
So you got stereo in your hoverboard.
Yep, we do. So if you're playing music through it, the only thing that it does that's weird is it muffles the music, even though it comes out the speakers. But I mean, we don't go on the carpet that much. So.
Well, and obviously Juliana has a brother, Mason, a little older than you, so I have to ask, who's had the best wipeout on the hoverboard?
Probably Mason. He runs into the couch a lot.
But no broken bones?
Nope.
How many of your friends have hoverboards, do you think? Is it a pretty popular thing now?
From my friends, no. Only one of my other friends have one. But a lot of my friends come over a lot, so they ride mine and ride my other friends when they go over to her house.
So anyway, pretty neat thing. Like I said, Back to the Future is where I thought it started. And I'm thinking back, and someday they'll have them. They ride just on air, won't they?
Probably.
Probably your kids will be riding one. There won't be any wheels, right?
Maybe.
So anyway, what I'd like you to do, would you give us a hoverboard exposition? Show us how you run it out here, and hopefully you don't wipe out.
Hopefully.
And what did you want? We're going to try to get a picture. What's the high one? The Lamborghini?
The Lamborghini hoverboard. It's like squared off. It's not as round as this one, and it's a bunch of cool colors like neons, and it can range from like half of $1,000 to $1,000, but it's a nice hoverboard.
So it's a high dollar hoverboard,
Yes.
huh? So while we're getting out there and she's getting set up to show you how this thing works, so we'll find you a picture and show you one. So Jay, go ahead and power it up and show us how it goes.
Okay.
Powered on.
That's pretty cool.
Mhm.
And away you go.
Yep. So basically, you lean your feet forward to go forward, and then it's basically all in your feet. You don't really have to move your upper body at all, and you can turn. You can go backwards. You can go really fast.
Yeah, we don't have a very big area for you to work here, do we?
No, not really, but it can work.
Nice.
So,
All right, I think my insurance is paid up, so give it a little spin around here. Let's see it. How do you stop it? That's cool.
so like I said, these lights light up when both feet are activated, and they have lights in the back, down by the feet.
And how fast can you get going on this, do you know?
I think it's 15 miles per hour.
Wow.
It's
That's
something
pretty
like
quick.
that. The fastest we've gone in our house is probably 7 miles per hour. We can't really go that fast, but
Is that when Mason jumps over the couch?
no.
Well, take it back quick and come forward quick, and
Okay.
then take us away. Nice.
Peace. Back to you, Jimmy.
So whether you're out there on your hoverboard or just in your Ford F-150, be careful out there, and as always, God bless America.